Hi and hello, and today we're going to talk about Sun Tzu's The Art of War. I am expecting a 900-page essay on my desk that you are going to have to write before this video ends. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a homework video. We're going to read the entirety of this in its entirety, and we are going to, of course, we're going to talk about it, we're going to dissect it. It's strategy. It's That's part of soccer. That's part of football, right? Yeah. I'm of course kidding. Before you, before you click off of the video, I obviously we're going to talk about something football related, and specifically we are going to talk about Bayern Munich and Harry Kane. So I wanted to kind of go in a little bit. I was gonna kind of save this for when all of the European competitions are over, at least the Big Five, and kind of just give my thoughts on all of them. That way, we knew who the winners were, and it was good to go. I could talk about things I liked and didn't like, things like that. But I feel like in this case, in the case of Harry Kane and Munich, we kind of have to separate that a little bit because it is kind of a big deal, right? Harry Kane got his first trophy. And I think that on its own is worth talking about. It's worth dedicating a video to. Obviously, I can't dedicate a video to every single player that gets their first trophy, right? Otherwise, I'd be releasing videos constantly, and we can't do that. But I think for someone like Harry Kane, who is extremely talented, extremely good, does deserve a video kind of dedicated to them. And yeah, I think we're gonna talk about it a little bit here. I'm gonna talk about the Bundesliga a little bit. We'll probably talk about it again when all the European competition stuff is over, and I can properly articulate my opinions a little bit. Overall, I think the Bundesliga season was fun this year. Um, my team, Leverkusen, did not make it, unfortunately. We didn't win. We didn't get a back-to-back championship. It is what it is. Xavi is leaving, probably going to Real Madrid to coach Real Madrid. Verts might also be leaving, so there's that too. It kind of hurts, but on to Bayern and to Harry Kane a little bit. I think we shouldn't downplay the achievements that they've completed this year. You know, they got far in the Champions League. They won the Bundesliga. They did okay in the Pokal. They kind of they got beat by a Bundesliga 3 team. but so did Leverkusen, so I guess that doesn't really matter. That actually speaks on how like healthy the German division is, though. In all honesty, like the German leagues are very healthy. I think there's this idea because Bayern won 11 years in a row that like Bayern runs everything, and that is true to an extent. But like I feel like the German league system in general is pretty robust. It's going to be competitive, honestly. So that's good. I think that's great. Bayern is they're gonna be all right. I think. I think Leverkusen will be all right too, for the most part. But yeah, let's go through it a little bit here. Um, I need to pull up the standings. I did not do that. This video is kind of a little impromptu. Not like super impromptu, but a little bit. But if I pull up the Bundesliga standings here, my computer is deciding. I'm in the middle of downloading Doom: The Dark Ages, So my computer's being a little slow, so bear with me here. Bear with me. Alright, here is the standings. Oh yeah, we literally have like 1 week left. And then the relegation match. Alright. Boom. Crap. I did not... There we go. Alright, we're good now. We're good. We got it. Technical difficulties aside. Alright, so as we can see, Bayern are going to be the winners. They'll stay in the Champions League spot. Leverkusen's going to stay in the Champions League. Frankfurt is going to the Champions League. Freiburg is going to the Champions League. And Dortmund is going to the Europa League, it looks like. These two could still flip. I'd say that, like, Frankfurt, Freiburg, and Dortmund, all three could easily, flip spots. So this isn't quite set in stone yet. I feel like it's probably pretty good. I mean, if Dortmund wins, like, their last match, it's against Holstein Kiel, so they should probably be good. This might flip. Freiburg's playing Frankfurt next week. Or this week. Whatever day this video comes out on. Yeah, so they could actually, there could be some flip-flopping here. Mainz is going to the conference league. Their last match will be against Leverkusen. So, they'll be good. I actually expected Leipzig to do better this year. I feel like they were building something early on in the season, and then it kind of fell apart. Same with Stuttgart. I thought Stuttgart was going to do a lot better this year as well. Frankfurt did exactly what I expected them to do. Freiburg, I didn't really know what to expect, and then Dortmund, I thought would kind of bounce back a little bit. I know they weren't doing all that great initially, and they never quite recovered. Although they got 4 wins in a row in the last month, so good for them. Maybe they're turning it around. So yeah, Bremen, exactly where I kind of expected them to be. McGladbach, I feel like McGladbach should be better. They're one of those clubs that I think they should be higher up here, definitely. They should at least be higher than Bremen. Just saying. And then Augsburg and Wolfsburg are kind of where I expect them to be. Union Berlin is kind of where I expect them to be. St. Pauli, I kind of figured would be in the relegation spot, and I'm kind of glad they didn't. I like the idea of, like, different clubs coming into the Bundesliga. That's the whole point of promotion relegation. So they earned that spot, and they're sticking to it. They're staying roughly in the middle. I mean, they're toward the bottom, but they're not there. Hoffenheim, I kind of expect them to be in 15th. They do seem to be like all due respect for Hoffenheim fans, they do kind of seem to be a team that stays kind of in the middle of the table. I think they were last season as well, pretty sure. And then Heidenheim relegated, Holstein Kiel relegated, Bochum relegated. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Not even gonna deny it. Bochum just hasn't been good. Genuinely, like, they weren't good last year either. So, like, the fact that they stayed in the Bundesliga to this season is impressive. And Kiel kind of just, there were glimpses, right? Kiel had never been in the Bundesliga before, and there were, like, brief glimpses where they had a fire going a little bit. Like they tried. They were playing, in my opinion, much better than Bochum was, and they did what they could. Ultimately, though, there are teams in the Bundesliga that are just better than them, and that's kind of just how it goes, unfortunately. that they're being relegated isn't really a huge surprise, but at the same time, I was rooting for them. I wanted them to stay in the Bundesliga, them and St. Pauli, because I like rooting for the teams that really aren't supposed to make it. The underdogs. So I was really hoping that Holstein Kiel would pull out of the relegation zone, but they're not going to. Their relegation is confirmed at this point, so they'll be going down to the Bundesliga 2 along with Bochum and potentially Heidenheim. They're in the relegation zone, but maybe they can save it. Maybe, probably not. I doubt it. Yeah, they're probably out. Anyway, this is me kind of just going through the table here, talking about the Bundesliga a bit, talking about Harry Kane, talking about Bayern. I think Bayern earned this one, definitely. Oh, excuse me. I think Bayern earned this one. This wasn't them just like steamrolling the entire league. They raced Leverkusen to the end, and I think toward the end of the season they got ahead and they never looked back. But Leverkusen didn't give up. They didn't stop. They kept going. Unfortunately, I think those draws that Leverkusen had eventually caught up with them. I don't think that takes away from their unbeaten streak or anything like that. They still had the best season in Bundesliga history by far. Bayern can't say they've done that. They lost matches, right? They lost matches in the regular season. So Leverkusen can still hold on to that unbeaten run, and no one else right now in the Bundesliga can say that. So good for them, genuinely. But yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to. Bayern did it. Harry Kane did it. Harry Kane got his first championship ever. And all I can really say is congratulations, Bayern Munich, and congratulations, Harry Kane. Keep going. Keep doing it. Because this can't be the last one for Harry Kane, right? Now that he's gotten his first championship, he's got to want more. And I want to see him get more. Genuinely. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for Leverkusen 100%. Like they are like my Bundesliga team, even though I'm wearing a Bayern shirt right now because the whole point of this video was to talk about Bayern. But it kind of became a Bundesliga as a whole video. And yeah, I really don't got much else to say. Congratulations, Bayern Munich, for winning the 2026 24-25. Can you tell I'm tired? Yeah, I'm like really tired. Like there's rings around my eyes. Like it's pretty bad. Yeah. 24-25 Bundesliga season. Congratulations. And yeah, I'm already excited to see like what the new kits are going to look like for next season. That away kit for Bayern is pretty nice. I thought about picking that up. Maybe in the future. Maybe when it's not as expensive. Anyway, yeah. Also, this crosses out the Bundesliga for the year, at least until August. And yeah, probably we'll talk about this one more time once all of the European competitions are wrapped up, at least the Big Five and the major tournaments, and we'll probably talk about that again then. So yeah.